These are my Unit 5 case problems. I went ahead and just put them all in the same folder temporarily so I could do this a lot faster. So we start off with the Carly's event, problem 1, an event demo. Up here, I'm just initializing my variables and everything. The only thing that changed from last month, or not last month, but the last assignment was now there's a guest price and an event price that are going to change depending on the size of the event. So up here, if it's a small event, it's going to be 35. If it's a large event, it's going to be 32 per guest. So we go down here, and we're just setting our things. This is a default, but it isn't used in this assignment, but I left it in there because it didn't say to take it out. So we go down here, set event number, return event number, and we're setting guests. So down here, guest is number of guests. If the event is large, which means 50 or more, we're going to go with the minimum price per guest, which I think was 32 up there. And then our event price, our new event price, is going to be guest times that lower unit. Else, it's going to be a small event, in which case it's going to, like the smaller event, less than 50 people, which is going to be 35 per person. And down here, we're just returning each of those things. Down here is my boolean, so if the event is large, is a large event, default setting it to false, which means less than 50 people. So if guests are greater than or equal to 50 people, which it says right there, then I'm setting it to is large as true, and then I'm returning that. Over here on the demo, setting up my scanner at the top so I don't have to use that try with stuff. Initializing my event number and guest, and then here's the 3 instances that it's asking me to do. So my 3 events that we're going to be setting up. Down here, we're just showing our events. This pulls down, this is where we check to see which event is larger, and we're just checking 3 times, so event against 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and then 1 and 3. And I'll quickly go down here to the bottom. There we go. Alright, so what this is going to do is it's going to take whichever events you send down here. So event 1 and 2 are the first ones, just to set it up. Okay, so my default is event 1 is going to be larger. So if event 1 is less than or equal to event 2, then event 2 is larger, and then return largest event. And then it keeps looping through that throughout each of these down here. So, and this is just talking about the different things. So event 1, number and guest, event 2, number and guest, and then it finds the largest event number, or the largest one with the event number, and then the one with the most guests. And then it keeps going down through there with each of the different combinations. And all this pretty much stayed the same. Your event number stuff, your get guest, and your show details. So we're going to go over to rental, which is problem 2. I didn't realize it, but I actually did this assignment a few chapters back. It just said leave minutes as a default of 1, but I added this in, I think, in chapter 3 or chapter 4, so I didn't have to really change anything. So all of this is going to be the same as it was before in the last chapter. The only thing that really changed was we're doing something similar. Instead of the largest event, we're going to find the longest rental. So everything's set up the exact same way. I got rid of the default contract number in minutes, and over here I'm asking for 3 different contract numbers with 3 different minutes. And we're doing the same formula where it's 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3 to find out which was the longest. You know, it's verbatim, almost the same, except I'm just trading guest for minutes and hours and everything. And over here, I broke this out too to where it wasn't just saying minutes. I was saying get hours and get remainder minutes. And all of that loops down to here, as we saw in problem 1. And I did create a temporary variable, so temporary minutes 1, temporary minutes 2. Temporary minutes 2 is just the whatever rentals are being populated in here, the first one. And you find your hours, and you multiply it by minutes at an hour rate, which was 60, and then you add it to your remainder minutes. So if you had 1 hour, it would be 60 minutes plus however many remainder minutes you had originally. And my default, again, I just set it to rental 1. And so if rental 1 or temporary minutes 1, which is going to go to that first one, is less than or equal to temp minutes 2, which is going to be your rental 2, then your longest rental is going to be rental 2. And then return that. And all of this is the same as before. And that's it. So I'm going to go through now and demonstrate that they're all working. So let's go back to problem 1. Go ahead and run it. Move this up so we have more room. Into the event number, I'm going to say A. Number of guests, I'm going to say 51. Event 2, B, we're going to say 50 guests. Event 2, C, we'll say 12 guests, sure. So A was the largest out of the 3 of them with 51. So both of these are going to qualify as large events. This one's going to qualify as a small event. So 32 per guest for A, 32 per guest for B. Both those are large events. 35 for C, which is a small event. It is large and is classified, and so both of these are true about that. And then the third one, of course, is false because you only have 12. So now we get down to the comparison. So A has 51, B has 50. Event A is larger. B has 50, C has 12. B is larger with 50. A has 51, C has 12. A is larger with 51. So that one works. So let's go over to rental demo. Clear this out. Go ahead and run it again. We're going to go with, we'll just stick with the same thing. So A, we're going to say 60 minutes, and that should be $40. Contract number B, we're going to say 61 minutes. So, and contract C, and we'll say 120, well, let's say 121 minutes. Okay. So we go down here. A, $40 per hour, $1 per every additional minute. So 1 hour and 0 minutes, 60 minutes, $40. 1 hour and 1 minute, $41 because we have 61 minutes. Contract C is 2 hours and 1 minute, so 121 minutes. So 2 60s and then a 1 minute, that comes out to 81. So now we come down to the comparison. A for 1 hour, B for 1 hour and 1 minute, so B is longer. B and C, so we come down to 1 hour and 1 minute and 2 hours and 1 minute, so C is longer. Come down to A and C, and it's 1 hour versus 2 hour and 1 minute. C is longer with 2 hour and 1 minute. And that's it.